Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 5 at the Hampton Inn in front of the Walmart on Route 13 in Seaford and at the Comfort Inn on Route 1 next to Jake's in Rehoboth.
WMDT 47 News, live at 6.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stacey Sakai. Ashley is off tonight. More news in less time starts now. Well, a chlorine scare in Salisbury this evening. Fire officials say 2 people were sent to the hospital complaining of difficulty breathing. It happened at the Salisbury water treatment plant on Morris Street across from Y Middle. Officials say chlorine is an extremely toxic gas, and we will, of course, bring you more information as it comes into our newsroom. An investigation is underway in Cambridge after gunfire rang out last night. Police say shots were fired on the 500 block of Greenwood Avenue. Officers found a 17-year-old lying on the ground with a gunshot wound to the neck. The victim is listed in stable condition at shock trauma in Baltimore. Anyone with information should call police. Staying in Cambridge, 5 suspects are still at large after an armed robbery. It happened Monday near Peach Blossom Avenue and Robin Street. The victims say a group of men approached him, demanded money, and then police say one of the suspects pointed a gun at the victim. The suspects fled with cash. If you know anything, again, call police. Investigators in Salisbury are trying to identify an alleged thief. Take a look at these surveillance photos. Police say that this man stole a credit card and then used it at an area business. The theft happened at the 14,000 block on the 14,000 block of Camden Avenue. If you recognize him, call Crime Solvers. The father of the 3 missing boys from Michigan made his first court appearance today in Ohio. John Skelton is being held on $3 million bail after being arrested for parental kidnapping. And he is fighting extradition back to Michigan. Investigators say they are skeptical of his story that he dropped the kids off with his girlfriend before trying to kill himself. Police are still searching for the boys, but say the outlook is bleak.
We've continued to talk to virtually all parties involved in this investigation, including Mr. Skelton. Statements that he's made to investigators would indicate that it's not going to be a positive outcome.
So sad. The search for the missing boys will continue through Friday evening, after which the volunteer searches will be scaled back. Another hearing for Skelton has been scheduled for December 14th. And a Sussex County teacher is facing rape charges this evening for having alleged sexual contact with a student. Police say 32-year-old Derek Laughlin engaged in the inappropriate relationship on school grounds and at his home. Officials say Laughlin has been placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. He was arrested on an $86,000 secured bond. One of the owners of a convenience store in Laurel is facing numerous sex offenses. Police arrested Rohit Patel. The alleged sexual assaults happened in the Ram Deli, and investigators say they recovered evidence linking Patel to an incident and are asking any other potential victims to contact Laurel police. Patel is free on bond tonight. A Los Angeles judge has cleared the way for the so-called honeymoon killer to be extradited to Alabama. Gabe Watson was deported from Australia last week to face possible murder charges in the death of his wife. She died back in 2003, just 10 days after their wedding.
His American homecoming began with an arrest and an extradition hearing. Gabe Watson will be tried for murder 7 years after the death of his bride, Tina. The two were scuba diving during their honeymoon in Australia when Tina went into distress. This is the last known picture of Tina taken by another diver. She's laying on the ocean floor. Alabama prosecutors believe Watson turned off her oxygen tank because he wanted her life insurance money. Watson said he tried helping his wife.
She was looking up, had both her arms out, stretched up, almost like looking at me, reaching her arms up to grab.
An experienced diver, Watson said he had to let her go or risk drowning as well. An Australian court convicted him of manslaughter. He served just 18 months. American prosecutors believe Watson planned Tina's death prior to leaving the States. They argued there are no international rules in relation to double jeopardy and asked that Watson be extradited. Watson's attorney says his client has already served his time. Tina's family says true justice has yet to be served.
What we want is to see him face the evidence for the very first time before a jury and stand before that evidence and answer to it.
Well, that was ABC's Diana Alvear reporting. Despite making a deal with Australian authorities to keep the death penalty off the table, Watson still faces a maximum of life in prison.
WMDT 47 News First Forecast.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. Well, certainly a gloomy day outside, a rainy day, very windy. We had wind gusts here in Salisbury up to 44 miles per hour. Georgetown saw wind gusts up to 46, Dover 43 mile per hour winds, and Wallops Island around 40 mile per hour winds. So very gusty conditions and some clouds still out there now, but that front has moved off the coast, no problem now. Temperatures really dropping behind that front. Weather watchers checking in with temperatures in the lower 40s. So Denny Rain in Argos Corner 41, Paul and Milton 45, Truckee and Lewis at 43, Carroll and Longneck 39, Patton Riverdale 44, Paul and Milton 45, and Ted Parker in Millsboro 46 degrees. Tom Lockerman in Bridgeville had about a half an inch of rain at his house at 42, Hunter Little Page in East Newmarket at 45. So temperatures are hanging out in the 40s. We're going to drop down to the upper 20s and lower 30s tonight. So chilly air settling back into the forecast. I'll bring you all the details coming up in a few more minutes. Stacy.
Thanks very much, Stephanie. Well, after months of waiting, the military has finally released its report on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The survey shows that concerns over what will happen to the military if it overturns the ban on gay people openly serving may be overblown. Defense Secretary Robert Gates says the survey shows most service members have no problem with gay people serving in the military.
The findings suggest that for large segments of the military, repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, though potentially disruptive in the short term, would not be the wrenching, traumatic change that many have feared and predicted.
But Gates says up to 60% of people surveyed in certain frontline all-male units did have a different opinion. They thought repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell would have a negative effect on unit bonding. Well, Senator Ben Cardin releasing a statement after Defense Secretary Robert Gates unveiling the results of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell report. He says the Pentagon makes it clear that the policy can be repealed with minimal impact on troop strength, cohesion, or readiness. He says the Senate now must act to ensure that these brave men and women can continue to serve our nation with honesty and integrity. And President Obama's deficit panel is urging lawmakers to make bold moves to get the runaway debt under control. Meanwhile, many lawmakers are refusing to extend long-term jobless benefits because they don't want to add to the debt. ABC's John Hendren has more.
For 2 million Americans like Ellen Andrews, today is the first day with no safety net.
It means that I'm keeping the lights on and I'm keeping food in the house. Just, sometimes just barely.
Long-term jobless benefits ran out Tuesday after Democrats and Republicans could not agree on an extension, despite a last-ditch effort by Senator Jack Reed.
Acting now is the right thing to do, the responsible thing to do, the wisely economic thing to do.
The main concern driving that decision? The national debt.
We have to take draconian action at the worst possible time.
The National Commission on Fiscal Responsibility and Reform, meeting in Washington, plans to offer a debt reduction plan on Friday. The solution from Democrat Erskine Bowles and Republican Alan Simpson? Lots of bitter medicine, including a 15-cent-a-gallon hike in the gas tax, cutting Social Security payments for high-income seniors, raising the retirement age to 69, cutting defense spending by $100 billion, including closing one-third of U.S. military bases abroad, and some call this political suicide, eliminating the tax deduction for home mortgages over $500,000.
That was ABC's John Hendren reporting. The President's Debt Commission will now make their recommendations, and lawmakers will have to decide if they can make the necessary cuts. A small business owner in Florida is hoping to inspire other bosses. Lola Gonzalez made an unprecedented move. She owns a company providing background checks for employers. Well, Gonzalez had to lay someone off, but her decision shocked her entire staff when she chose herself.
My employees are the most trusted. I mean, they've been here for years. They've been loyal. They've been dedicated. I mean, it was just the right thing to do, in my opinion.
Gonzalez still owns the company. She'll use her former manager's salary to keep all 9 workers on the job. A proposal to raise gas taxes is not going over well in Sussex County. The county council passed a resolution asking Senator Tom Carper and other Delaware representatives not to support any hikes in the fuel tax. They claim the increase would cost households more than $700 a year. Carper says it would help reduce the deficit and pay for infrastructure projects. Well, drivers, listen up. Some changes are coming to Maryland's court system. If you get a ticket on or after January 1, a new law requires you to request a trial date if you want one instead of just having one automatically assigned. For more information, you can go to our website, WMDT.com. Registration for spring classes at Warwick Community College are now open, and some additions have been made to the class schedule. In addition to the 14-week semester, Warwick is also offering 2 mini-mesters. Each session is 8 weeks long, and registration for the first one ends January 7th. Warwick has also added some new programs.
We now have new programs in environmental technology and environmental science.
For more information on a credit class schedule, you can call 410-334-2895. The Red Cross has given so much to those in need, and today it was their turn to be the recipient. WMDT's Terrence Lee takes us inside the 16th annual Celebrity Waiters Luncheon and Auction.
It's probably the largest crowd that I've seen here.
We are looking to raise over $50,000.
It was a packed house at the Wacomico Youth and Civic Center Wednesday afternoon. Local celebrities were there raising money for the cause, including WMDT's own Stephanie Allison, Amber Watson, and Aliana Gomez. The Red Cross put me to work as well.
The community comes together every year and contributes to this wonderful event. We're so thankful to have everyone here.
Everything on the auction block was sold, including a Hawaiian luau party catered by Emmings in Bishopville. It went for the highest bid of the afternoon at more than $8,000.
Sold right over there, $8,200.
All the money goes toward the Red Cross operating budget for next year and gives them the means to help those facing hardships.
It's a wonderful opportunity to help people in times of disaster and other needs.
Terrence Lee, WMDT 47 News.
And the numbers are in today. The Red Cross raised more than $55,000. Coming up in 6 minutes on WMDT 47 News, disturbing details have come to light in the Zara Baker case. And it's a foiled robbery you have to see to believe. Plus, in 90 seconds, meteorologist Stephanie Allison will be back with your complete forecast. This is WMDT.
WMDT 47 News, Delmarva's choice for more news in less time.
Bathfitter, the perfect fit in every way.
Make the holidays even happier with a great deal on a Pilot, CR-V, or Odyssey from Honda, the car company with the highest owner loyalty. For great leases and low financing, see your Honda dealer during Happy Honda Days.
At Mrose Gas, our customers are more than account numbers. They're our friends and neighbors. Our professional staff will respond to your needs quickly and courteously.
It was the night of our grand opening. The restaurant was packed. We ran out of propane. Our old company was not responding. We contacted Mrose. Within minutes, we were cooking. We want to thank the Mrose boys.
Don't wait for an emergency. Call Mrose Gas today and become one of our family of satisfied customers.
When you need to know.
WICO Newsroom. WICO's accurate. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch.
You need WICO. Breaking news.
Emergency crews on the scene. Expect some delays. Sheriff Lewis gives us an update.
Stimulating talk.
Irresponsible spending. And if we're going to spend it, one of the focus points.
Hannity.
Conservatism is the dominant ideology.
Part
of the mathematics, don't you understand?
If it affects your world, we're talking about it. 92.5 and 1320 AM. WICO.
WMDT 47 weather.
Welcome back. You're watching WMDT. Well, that front that moved over us earlier that gave us heavy rain, some areas did see about an inch of rain. Tom Lockerman, one of our weather watchers in Bridgeville, saw about a half an inch of rain. And so we did get some rain out there and some very windy conditions throughout the daytime. Still some gusty conditions tonight, but the wind is going to die down a little bit more. So that front offshore now, no problems there. A few clouds over us right now, but becoming clear as we head through the overnight. There is some snow flying out out in the West Virginia and out in western portions of Pennsylvania, where I'm from. So they're getting a little bit of snow, but really not making it here. It won't make it over the mountaintops. So we are looking at those skies becoming clear tonight. Temperatures also dropping. So 43 in Dover, also Georgetown, Salisbury, 45 in Ocean City, and 44 in Wallops Island. So what we're going to get to tonight is going to be a chilly number. We're looking at 28 to 33 degrees. So bundle up tonight. You're going to need to turn those heaters on. So a clear night in store for us once we head through the overnight hours. Still getting that northwesterly wind flow in here, really bringing in that cooler air. So highs tomorrow only in the upper 30s and lower 40s. Now, we'll still have a light breeze out there, but not like we saw today. High pressure moving in for the next couple of days, so we're going to see the sun return. A few clouds in and out over the next couple of days. Really no problems, just very cold. 39 to 44 degrees, mainly a sunny day. A few afternoon clouds move in, and a few clouds move in and out over the weekend, but overall very chilly. Highs only in the 40s and lows of the overnights only in the 20s. Stacy.
Thanks, Steph. Coming up in 2 minutes, 55 years ago today, one woman changed the course of history. And the murder investigation for Ronnie Chasen may have hit a dead end. This is WMDT.
WMDT 47 News, Delmarva's choice for more news in less time.
Are you Tanger smart? Do you look for the latest styles at everyday savings of 30 to 70%? I'm Steve Tanger. To shop smarter, there's no better time to shop Tanger outlets. You'll find the best prices on an impressive lineup of designer and brand names. If you enjoy window shopping where you can actually afford what's behind them, then you belong here. Shop guilt-free at Tanger.
Shop Tanger style. 3 locations on Coastal Highway Route 1. A mile of style.
The holidays, bright lights, and friendly gatherings. A time to reconnect with those we care about. Not a time to worry about high energy bills, broken bulbs, and fire hazards. That's where LED decorative lights come in. LEDs last up to 4,000 hours and are much cooler to the touch. LED lights beat incandescents hands down, using 33% less electricity. Enjoy your holidays with LED lights and spend some of the savings on milk and cookies for Santa. Chop Tank Electric Cooperative and you. Together we save.
Now here are 2 things worth getting up for in the morning.
Don't miss the Bob and Tom Show. Weekday mornings on Big Classic Rock 98.5.
Harrington Raceway and Casino invites you to enjoy exciting entertainers on Friday Night Live in the Gold Room. Don't miss the Holidays Unwrapped featuring Bobby Valley December 3rd. Shows at 6 and 8. Harrington Raceway and Casino, where the action lives.
Here's a look at some of the stories making national headlines today. Warrants have been unsealed in the Zara Baker case, revealing some disturbing details, and we do want to warn you this story contains graphic content. Through her lawyer, Elisa Baker told police that she and her husband used a car cover and a comforter to discard the dismembered body parts of the 10-year-old girl. Her lawyer also told investigators to check the family's bathtub for blood and pieces of bone. So far, no one has been charged in her death. And kidnapped victim Elizabeth Smart stormed out of court this morning after a psychiatrist testified that her alleged attacker had been motivated by a desire to have children and create a new race in an imaginary world. The psychiatrist also testified that Brian Mitchell suffers from major psychotic, delusional, and personality disorders. The debate now is whether or not Mitchell is insane.
My gut tells me that somebody contracted someone else to kill the victim.
Police investigating the murder of a high-powered Hollywood publicist appear to be at a dead end. Ronnie Chasen was gunned down on November 16th. Investigators say the security cameras used to monitor traffic at the intersection where she was shot were removed several years ago to save money. Details from the coroner's report revealed that the shooter appears to be an expert marksman. And finally, a pizza shop owner used his tools of the trade to stop a robbery in progress. The suspect entered the store, pulls out a gun, and demands cash while the owner was pulling a pizza out of the oven. The owner then turned around and, as you can see here, fought him off with the pizza peeler. The would-be robber dropped the gun and ran. Police arrested the suspect and his alleged accomplice. 55 years ago today, an act of civil disobedience marked one of the most important moments in the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat to a white man in Montgomery, Alabama. She passed away in 2005, but her legacy lives on, her actions helping end segregation laws in the South.
WMDT 47 weather.
Taking a look at Futurecast, showing you that front off the coast now, and we are going to look at clearing skies through the overnight, just a few passing clouds possible. A sunny Thursday, a few possible clouds move back into the forecast later on your Thursday afternoon. And really we're just going to see just a few passing clouds for your early Friday and then decreasing. So clouds in and out, but overall much pleasant conditions, much more pleasant conditions than we did see today. We had those rainy, gusty, windy conditions, just nasty out there, but things much better in the forecast. 7-day forecast for Dover, 41 on Thursday, 42 Friday, 41 Saturday. They're not warming up too much, and even by Tuesday, a high of only 39. That's one chilly 7-day forecast. Stacy.
Thanks, Steph. When we come back in 90 seconds, a new study has found that osteoporosis could be linked to obesity. And today, people all over the world gather to raise awareness about a deadly and devastating disease. This is WMDT.
WMDT 47 News. Delmarva's choice for more news in less time.
You hear that? That's the sound of my Popeye's Bonafide chicken marinating. It takes 12 hours to marinate that Louisiana flavor down to the bone. And right now, when you buy 12 or more pieces of my chicken, you get a free chocolate lava cake. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This Christmas, leave her speechless in her jammies. All it takes is one little box from Kuhn's Jewelers. We promise she won't know what to say, but she'll know deep down that you chose something that will last as long as your love for her. Doesn't your love deserve a Kuhn's box this year? Come see us for that special gift that will speak to her, but leave her speechless.
Kuhn's Jewelers, downtown Salisbury. Speechless gifts start at just $100.
It's hard to hide a scooter for Christmas, so at Scooter Boy we offer free Christmas storage and no fee layaway. And I've taken $400 off all Wasp scooters. Scooter Boy's got the biggest selection, the best prices, and free storage for Christmas. This is not working out here.
May the most dashing delights, the most memorable moments, and the most inspiring gifts find you this holiday season.
Here's a look at your family health report. At the White House, health officials mark today as World AIDS Day, a day to raise awareness, commemorate AIDS victims, and push for improved treatment and prevention. ABC's TJ Winnick has more.
The resounding message on this 7th annual World AIDS Day: there's much to be thankful for, but still much work to be done.
There is a hope in continuing the work that is making such a big difference around the world.
In Sydney, Australia, where landmarks were flooded in red light as part of a global campaign to fight AIDS, U2 frontman and AIDS activist Bono took that hope one step further.
We will definitely, by 2015, see the first HIV-free generation in 30 years. We will do that. It's an achievable goal.
According to the UN, new HIV infections have declined by almost 20% worldwide over the past decade. Yet the estimated number of children living with HIV or AIDS in 11 Asian countries has increased by 46% between 2001 and 2009. Public health officials continue to push screening as the most effective way to combat the spread of the virus.
Here in the U.S., less than half of all Americans, 45%, have had an AIDS test. That's even after guidelines were expanded to include routine screenings. In other health news, if you get confused when you're trying to give your child medication, you're not alone. A new study found that about half of adults make mistakes when giving their children medicine. Complicated labels and confusing directions are part of the problem. In some cases, the directions said to give a teaspoon or tablespoon, but the cup or stopper that came with the medicine was measured in millimeters. And for years, doctors believed that obesity protected women from osteoporosis, but a new study suggests that carrying too much weight can be bad for bone health. Researchers found that women who carried more abdominal weight had lower bone density, which means that osteoporosis may join heart disease and diabetes as possible health risks of obesity. Beebe Medical Center will be offering free mammograms next week at their monthly Breast Health Forum. That event is December 9th from 5 to 8:30 p.m. at the Tunnel Cancer Center in Lewis. Health officials say all women 18 years and older should have a clinical breast exam, and all women over 40 should have a yearly mammogram. Registration for a mammogram is required, and to register, you can call 302-645-3169.
WMDT 47 weather.
So very windy conditions today. Still light breeze in the marine forecast tomorrow, but we are going to have sunny conditions. Small craft advisory for the Chesapeake Bay up until the afternoon hours. The winds out of the northwest at about 10 to 15 knots there. The sea is about 3 feet. To the Atlantic Ocean, the small craft advisory will be in effect throughout your morning hours, and that's really it. So we'll have the northwest winds there up to 20, 25 knots possible in the early morning hours. The sea is about 4 to 5 feet, so the rockier conditions will be earlier in day. Delaware Bay, northwest winds up to 20 knots, and we are going to have a cooler day in Ocean City, a high of 43. We'll be right back. You're watching WMDT.
WMDT 47 News, Delmarva's choice for more news in less time.
When I see people trying to sell an old Camry, it makes me want to show them a new Ford Fusion. I can't help myself.
Kind of ready to move up and to get to the next level.
Fusion.
Yeah, I like it.
I should probably brag about this a little bit. The projected resale value, it beats the Camry. 33 miles a gallon on the highway.
Wow.
The sync system.
GPS.
Correct.
Phone.
Yes.
I love it.
Get our best deals, 0% financing, and as a holiday bonus, we'll give you $1,500 toward your first 3 payments.
Holly has something she'd like to say.
Bye, Camry.
When you need to know.
WICO Newsroom. WICO's Accurate. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch.
You need WICO. Breaking news.
Road emergency crews on the scene. Expect some delays. Sheriff Lewis gives us an update.
Stimulating talk.
It's irresponsible spending. And if we're going to spend it, one of the focus points.
Hannity.
Conservatism is the dominant ideology.
Beck.
Part of the mathematics, don't you understand?
If it affects your world, we're talking about it. 92.5 and 1320 AM. WICO.
Hairstyles brought to you by Designer's Edge.
Thanks for joining us. Well, let's catch you up on a story we said was developing at the top of our show. The Salisbury Fire Department says the chlorine leak at the Salisbury water treatment plant is now under control. The cause of the leak remains under investigation, but officials say they are going to wait until tomorrow morning to make repairs and for the fire department to give an all clear. Officials don't expect any disruption to Salisbury citizens' service.
Yes.
So, on a later note.
Yes.
Today, we are announcing November's funniest pet, and the winner is this little guy. The lucky winner will receive a $50 gift card to Salisbury Super Pet. If you would like to enter our Delmarva's Funniest Pet contest, go to WMDT.com, click on Contest, then Funniest Pet, and while you're there, vote for your favorite.
Very
So cute.
Yes. Now the weather, it was a little crazy today.
It was so windy.
We had wind gusts here in Salisbury, 44 miles per hour, so very windy.
Yeah.
But at least that wind is calming down. Things are drying out. It's going to be a very cold night. We'll be down to 29 through the overnight hours. By the morning, 31. The afternoon, only a high of 42 degrees. So bundle the kids up as you send them out to the bus stops in the morning. 43 tomorrow for your high in Georgetown, 44 on Friday. Clouds in and out over the weekend, but highs really not bumping up, well below average. And we're going to see that cooler trend throughout the 7-day forecast.
Bundle up the kids and weigh them down so they don't fall away. Thanks, Steph. Here's what's coming up tonight at 10 on Delmarva's CW3 and at 11 right here on WMDT. The latest on 3 missing Michigan children. Plus, Ocean City officials are talking about decreasing city employees' pay and cutting health benefits altogether. Plus, she just won Dancing with the Stars, and now Jennifer Grey is back in the doctor's office, and it is not good news. Those stories and more tonight at 10 and 11. Thanks for making us your choice for news at 6. If you missed any of the phone numbers or web links for any of the stories, they are at our website, WMDT.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
World News is up next. Have a great night.
Closed captioning provided by Verizon Fios Television.